Hey, love. What's up? What's up? What's up? I think we in here, man. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the I'm Just Here to Listen podcast. I'm your host, Jameen Delmas. And yeah, we kind of going live today on special guest, Kevin Samuels. Today, we're going to be talking about Kevin Samuels. We're going to be covering some of his highlight moments. We're going to be looking at some of his savage videos. Our video's still uploading because we ghetto. So we're going to kind of stall a little bit, talk a little bit about a few things about Kevin Samuels, his history. Bro was a savage though. I mean, I'm very curious in everybody's thought process. You can close that door right there. One of my little good workers in there. But yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, today, I think Kevin Samuels, he died a few years ago. Today makes let's find out when Kevin Samuels died, exactly the year he died. I think I have that actually. Why am I tripping? Kevin Samuels died in 2020. That was 5 years ago. Wait, no, I'm tripping. Kevin Samuels died in 2022. May 5th, 2022. That's today. May 5th, 2022 is today of when he died. Today we just, showing memory in remembrance of Kevin Samuels. I know you guys watch the show. We're all about Black entertainment, what we do, things of that nature. On this live today, we're going to be watching some of Kevin Samuels' most savaging videos. And I'm talking, bro was a savage. But before we get started, I basically want to give a little bit of highlight of, who Kevin Samuels was. For those of you who don't know, Kevin Samuels, most people wouldn't, most women specifically wouldn't agree that Kevin Samuels was advocating for all the brothers in the hood. He was advocating for all the high value brothers, like any brother that's like out there working, making it, doing what he got to do to provide for his family. He ain't got to make like six figures to be considered high value. He ain't got to be driving Ferraris and Lamborghinis to be considered high value. Like a high value man is basically a man that's like emotionally intelligent. And I think Kevin Samuels was trying to convey the importance of bringing back Black families and like, just being real, like, Black women kind of lost it. Like he was very vocal about his point of view on Black men and Black women, and how Black women have these standards that they got to have for a man. He got to follow the 666 rule. He got to be 6 foot 6 inches and six figures. And like, he was advocating for brothers because like at the end of the day, he was basically saying like, hey, we have standards too. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely have standards. You can't be 6'6" as a woman. We don't want a 6 foot tall woman. We don't want a woman that, that's more than 6 inches deep or longer. There's things that we would like to enjoy when we doing things, and six figures is not a thing for men. We don't care if a woman made $6. And I think that he was trying to show us what it meant to live in a society of Black men, and us standing up for what we want to. Because being real, man, like, the market ain't all that hot right now. And that's just like the truth. Like, there's just a lot of things going on in our world today that we can't even like, I can't even go, like, the dating market is like getting scarce out there, man. Especially like for our community. I mean, and people, those men, we ain't taking anything. I would consider myself a high value man. I think that I'm a high value man. I'm a business owner. I make X amount of dollars, which I'm not gonna go over on here. I have my own properties, vehicles, etc. So I know like what brother's talking about. And there's just like, when you get to a certain degree, you just don't care to tolerate. Your tolerance levels go down significantly when you become a high value man. And I think that he was trying to portray that. Some people felt like the man was an asshole. I felt like bro was just trying to he was just trying to, he was just keeping it real with these females because, like, oftentimes they get caught up in things that just isn't true. They want these fairy tale niggas, and that's just not who the fuck we are. We ain't fairy tale guys. Like, we ain't perfect, but like, he made it very clear that women submit to men, not men submit to women. And I've always been a big advocate of that. Like, all these guys who married and women, whatever, married for X amount of years, like, most of these guys are a slave to their woman. Like, their biggest fear is this woman leaving them. So they got to be on their P's and Q's. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do that. And like, most times, man, like, I feel like those kind of relationships, like, that ain't what I seen growing up, with my peoples. And my family been together forever. Like, I know my dad is the head of the household. My granddad was, my uncle was. And I don't never see them at the mercy of my auntie or my mom or my grandmother. Like, they treat them like queens, but they're not at the mercy of them. They're not like worried that they're going to leave. And man, I'm big on, like, if you dating a woman, real talk, and she's showing you in a relationship that she can leave, she's showing you this in a relationship. She'll show you that in a marriage. That don't really change as much when you get married. If she'll leave you in a relationship, man, she'll leave you in a marriage. I don't care what nobody say, that's real. So, like, paying attention to those signs, those social cues. I think bro was trying to put us on to something. And I think, like, it's a tragic that we lost them, because, like, we need superheroes like that, especially for black men, because you got to start keeping black families in the household. And when you taking out all the black kings out of the crib, women are on this independent life. Men don't really care if a woman is independent. That's actually a turnoff for most men. It's a turnoff for me. Like, I think we really look for more love and respect more than what you could provide for me. Like, I don't really care. I'm a natural provider by my nature. I don't need you to provide for me. And I think that's what Kevin Samuels was getting at. And a lot of people was disagreeing with it. And then these women out here thinking that they're like 10s and 8s and 9s or whatever the case is with makeup. Like, he was basically saying, like, the average person is sitting at a 5. At a 5. That's the average. If you're saying you're like well above a average because you wearing makeup, that does not suffice. But we're gonna get into all that. Like, we're gonna talk about all his his savage videos. We're gonna talk about his viewpoints on women altogether and black men. And it's ain't like bashing women or nothing like that. It's just reclaiming the throne of men, because men have to, understand their roles, and so do women. And, like, I think that most women are like, well, I'm dominant. That's cool. If you're a dominant woman, that just means you're going to need an even more dominant man, because men were naturally made to lead. And that's what he was trying to portray. I personally don't care to get married, me personally, if I ain't married to what I want to get married to. I don't care about all that. I can't be a slave in marriage. I just can't. I got to be the provider. I got to know that there's respect, things like that. And I think that's Kevin Samuels was just the old school. He was like the old school guy who was bringing back traditional relationships that worked, methods that worked, because, obviously divorce ratings are as high as they've ever been in the society we live in today. And he was just trying to demonstrate the importance of traditional. Like, there's a study now that says, like, back then in 1920s, 1930s, 1960s, man, 1970s, women, before they got married, most 80% of women were virgins when they got married. Now that percentage is like 2 to 5% in today's time. Like, when they get married, most women ain't, and he was speaking on that, like body counts matter to men, and women don't think that. A woman's history matter to men, and women don't think that. And like, how you was in your last relationship matters to men, but women don't think that, because men judge a woman based off their past, because that's how he gonna be able to tell what his future gonna look like. And I think that he was trying to put us all up on that. But anyhow, I'm gonna just give you guys a quick rundown, and we're gonna get to these videos because I started out long enough. So real quick, Kevin Samuels. He was born March 13, 1969 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He attended high school in the 1980s, where he later on enrolled into the University of Oklahoma to study chemical engineering. Bro was smart. And then later on, when he was 21 years old, He kind of stopped going to college because he was diagnosed with leukemia. Later on in the 2000s, Brother Man started working in marketing and advertising, including roles at Office Depot and Yellow Pages. You can tell that nigga, I mean, talking about Yellow Pages. Founded his own image consulting firm, offering personal styling and branding advice. He then launched his YouTube channel, initially focusing on fashion and lifestyle content, and then he gained widespread attention with his viral video, "You're Average at Best," when he was talking to a woman on his podcast, leading to his significant increase in his online following. Bruh appeared in Joe Biden podcast in 2021. He featured on No Jumper, where he delved into topics like masculinity, relationships, and his rise of fame. In 2021, he also participated in comprehensive interviews with Vlad TV. He joined on a Instagram live with Nicki Minaj, where Nicki Minaj gave herself a 7. Nicki Minaj gave herself a 7. Now, that says a lot. And I think that he was speaking to a lot of celebrities, and people was just sleeping. Like, bro was trying to dumb it down because, like really making Black people understand that while we need each other, we need to understand that this way of life, this whole I have to be at the mercy of my wife or she gonna leave me or divorce me is insane. Bro, let her leave. I know, and see, most guys can't do that because now they too invested, they too caught up. They got houses, they got cars with this woman, they got kids. So now these guys thinking alimony, child support, but they say cheaper to keep her. So now it's like there's this fear factor. I don't got time for that shit. It's either the woman's gonna respect me, understand that, and I know, when I think of a wife, I think of Adrian from Rocky. Most of y'all niggas might not even know who that is. Adrian from Rocky did not play. That lady was loyal. She was there the whole time. She ain't caring. Bro was getting knocked out, beat up. Bro was going through he was living in the mud, but no matter what, she was by him. Hold up, who calling me? Anyhow, so I think that at the end of the day, man, we gotta remember that, we as men, we got to look for loyalty because that's what's gonna keep us flowing. But anyhow, man, I'm gonna get started with some of these videos so we can get started. Hope you guys enjoy the show. We just gonna watch some of these videos, commentate on just remembering, bruh, going through some of his most savaging videos in this podcast live today, and hope you guys enjoy it. Let's see what we got real quick. All right. Let's see. I hope everybody can hear me, man. I hope everybody can hear me. Yeah, here we go. Bam. In this moment, yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. Yeah.
Let's get right into it. How tall are you?
I'm 5'4" 3/4.
That size?
Okay, good size.
I'm a small. I'm probably at maybe a 1-2.
Okay.
1-2.
And if you ranked yourself, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank?
No.
Yeah, let's get back to reality.
No, I'm in reality.
No, you're not in reality.
I'm in reality.
You're not in reality. If you're gonna be a 10, we can end this because that's not reality. You're not a supermodel.
So what are you betting?
You're not okay, man. Check the attitude. Let me just go ahead and say this. This bullshit that's running around with Black women. They call yourself a 10, never say you don't. That is some of the most destructive psychobabble that's going around. Black women, you need to be more humble. And you're a Christian.
That's the 4.
Mm-hmm. That's not humility.
Well, for one, I know that I was made in God's image, and
God knows He's not perfect, ma'am.
Right.
So everybody's a 10.
I'm not gonna get up here and call myself a 4 or a 2 because
if you're gonna tell me you're a 10,
no,
you're a 10.
I'm a Christian woman.
No. I said physically. You can be a Christian woman, but this,
bro, what does her being a Christian woman got to do with her physical look? Just because you're a Christian woman does not make you a 10 or up your levels. That's just like that. What does that got to do with you physically? If I'm walking by you, I'm not going to know that you're a Christian woman. I'm going to know that. Come on, man.
Yeah, physically. I'm beautiful.
You're physically a 10. Then what is Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Rihanna? What are they?
Right.
Whatever they consider themselves to be.
See, this is that bullshit, y'all. This is when I started to get
9,
upset. Because you ladies say you want help. But then when you start getting into it, your ego gets into it. Put your dick up.
That's not, honestly, Kevin.
This is bullshit. You're not a 10.
You can go to my Instagram now and you see
You're
that's how I
not
carry
a
myself.
10. Okay.
You're not.
I don't care how you call yourself. A 10 is supermodel looks.
Okay.
And that's what
I'm far from ugly, honey.
I didn't say that.
So
you made this combative, man. If you really want to say you're a 10, that's fine. But show me what the model contracts are.
I don't want to be a model.
I didn't ask you whether you want to be a model or not.
Somebody asked me today.
But you're not. But ma'am, you're not a. But you're not. But you're not that. Come on.
Come on, man.
Okay. Well, you said show me where the model contract. Somebody asked me today. Oh,
okay.
do you model?
Let's try this. Let's try this again. Where would you honestly rank yourself?
Come on. I give you a 4.5.
A 10.
Yeah.
Slightly below average.
Maybe to you I'm not, but beauty's in the eye. No.
So you're a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any women that are higher?
Are you saying I'm not? Tell me why I'm not.
No. I'm asking you. No. I'm asking you.
Tell me why I'm not.
No. You're not questioning. So you're on my. You're on my. So you mean to tell me that there are no women that are more attractive than you?
What?
I'm asking.
It's hard.
If you're a 10, that means you're at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not.
If you're a 10, that means you're at the top.
You there?
If I'm a 10,
an A plus, a 100 on a test is as high. No.
No woman.
Back it down.
No, I'm telling you.
Back it down. A 100 on a test is as high as you can go.
Yep.
It's a perfect grade. You're saying you're a 10, a 100 on the test. Are you saying that there's nobody who scores higher than you on looks? You're in the top percentile.
Everybody wants you.
Worldwide.
Everybody wants you.
Possibly, honestly, but it doesn't matter to me. No other woman I'm intimidated by, not one.
I'm not be intimidated. Oh my God.
Maybe by the world standards, I'm not, because I'm darker. I don't know what's the reason. I don't know.
Hey man, I'm gonna be real. I love darker skinned women, so I don't know what she's talking about. Like dark skinned women is intact, and the fact that she gotta like belittle darker women is insane. Dark skinned women is intact, so she already tripping.
Shit.
I don't know.
See, that's the thing. They always say thank you for saying it. Thank you. I knew we were going to get to it eventually. Eventually, we were going to get to the colorism argument. And see, the problem is, man, when you women walk around with this inflated estimation of yourself, life tells you what lane you're in, whether you want to admit to it or not.
Or not. Facts.
So are you saying colorism doesn't?
No, I'm not going down first off, I'm not going down the colorism path, because I'm saying if you were a dime
with this girl,
you'd be gone by now.
You would.
Dimes get taken like that.
Yeah,
possibly, or treasure is hidden.
Okay.
Treasure is hidden.
Again.
You're not.
This is what goes on. She's still gonna die on this hill. Because it's about my ego. I'm not, and I've listened to many black women parrot this stuff, especially after that average at best video. I've heard women tell women, you should never say this, you should never say that. And you know what? The only people y'all are hurting is yourself.
Damn sure is.
Honestly, I asked you just to move the conversation, but you've decided to make it about, I'm up here. And it's because of what I think of myself. Okay. But what you think of yourself and what the world sees are two different things.
Yes.
I am very sorry to inform you and other women. There are women that are prettier than you.
Okay.
And if you say you're a 10, that means you are up there with the prettiest of the pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you should have the results to show it.
Possibly.
Not possibly. You should have the results to show it.
It's exception
and the fact
to
that she's
rule.
going to continue. And here's the thing. This is one thing that I would say is so wrong with so many black women. They will not relent. They will shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. They will do this.
Bruh, he's talking
until they die.
He is talking.
It's like locking on. It's just the ego. This is the masculine
They
ego
have
of many women today.
Bruh, he talking right now. They got a very bad ego. He's talking about ego of a black woman that they cannot let go. This is insane. Talking to him.
So you would
It
be
is a
satisfied if I
psychological
said I
block.
was
This
a
is a
2?
psychological block with a lot of these. Like I can't say anything less. Even though you know damn well that this over here. See, I know that there are men that are more attractive than me.
Right.
I know men that I'm more attractive than.
Right.
But I would never ever think to call myself a 10 because I know I'm not a 10.
Right.
I knew at my best I was never a 10. Yeah. I knew that. But see, men get an accurate estimation of ourselves. That's why so many of you ladies got triggered. That's why that video went viral. Average at best, die alone. Because so many women think that you should get something higher than you are. And then when asked, even the woman in that video said, I would have gave myself so-and-so. Okay, you can all say what you want, but the world reflects back what it is. We attract what we are.
Yep.
And if you've never dated 10s, guys at that high level,
hell no.
If they're not knocking down your door, you're on Instagram, right? If they're not trying to marry you, wife you, that's not where you are.
And most times, like, these women try to get like half naked to try to get attention. Like, to be fair, bro, like, any woman that's half naked, you're going to get automatically all the attention. So that even if you are getting attention on Instagrams and DMs, and it's because of a picture you posted of you like exposing your body, like, you're going to get that. Like, that don't count. Like, you being half naked to try to substitute your beauty is insane. What he's talking about is like, are dudes like knocking at your door on Instagram, like, hey, boom, 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 like, you're beautiful. Like, you don't even got to really post nothing. Just naturally seeing you, not half ass out, titties out, legs out, whatever the case is. No, if you just post a regular picture of yourself, is dudes just throwing themselves on you. No, oftentimes these women are posting half-ass naked pictures on social media to get the attention of guys, but so to make them feel like they're 10, when naturally, guys, we just horny men. That's just what it is. If you're a half-naked woman on Instagram or social media, you don't even have to look pretty. If your body's decent and you're just half-naked, guys gonna stop and respond. Rather, you're whatever, and then they're gonna tell you whatever you want to hear just to get in your pants. I mean, that's just real. He talking, man.
You can call it whatever you want to. You can have 10 energy all day long, but that's not it.
Okay, Kevin.
Hey, she know you, bro.
Okay.
I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm just saying. I just don't understand why so many women.
You can't hurt me.
Oh, well, I'm not trying to, and there's nothing to be gained from it. What I'm doing is I'm showing that this is why I say therapy is so necessary, because this is beyond delusion.
Yes, it is.
Everybody's not a 10. Every woman does not get a high value man. Every woman doesn't deserve a high value man. Your mama got average. And mama built a life. You women who think you're 10s, think you deserve a high value man, are dying alone. Because you have no relationship skills.
Paul said, spare me the problems of married people. So if that's what I'm in reality.
You're not.
Bruh. Look, man, I'm gonna be real, man. She gonna date as many women. She gonna date as many men as she want to date. When he say average women die alone at best, it's like you gonna start dating all these guys. It's gonna happen. I'll give you that. But just because you like dating all these dudes, don't like. I don't know. She tripping. Like, she is, to me, I'll give her like a 4.5. I'm solid on that. I wouldn't get that girl no 10. I'm not comparing her to no Kelly Rowland or no Halle Berry in her prime. I ain't doing that.
If you're gonna be a 10, we can end this, because that's not.
I ain't doing that. Bro was going there. All right, let's watch the next one. Here we go. Wait, hold on. Before we go into that real quick. I ain't in here to judge no women about nothing. I'm just here to give praise to my man for what he was doing. But like, I think it's time you start like really leveling these women out, because they like, she said she was a 10. She said she was a 10. To who? Like, I wouldn't want the girl if I saw. Like, you ain't a 10. Like, you're a 10. That means every dude that walks by you wants you. Every dude that walks by you breaking their neck. You know, I don't know, man. I feel like he was trying to talk to her and let her know, like, it's okay to be average. Because most people make it seem like being average is not good, or it's not a good thing to be average. You have to be over exceedingly above average. And I think that he was trying to bring her back to reality that she was not a 10. She just was nowhere near a 10. Not even close. She barely made halfway. I didn't give a half, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go to the next woman. This should be good.
Watching the one where you talk about our model women, Walking Dead.
The Walking Dread, not dead.
The Walking Dread. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Okay. Did you watch the entire video or just part of it?
Good question. I'm only about a third way in.
So what do you think about what do you think on the topic?
You're absolutely correct. Women are dreading getting older. As a 33-year-old, I feel like it's a lot of pressure right now. Opposed to when I was in school working. I mean, I always thought, oh yeah, I'll get married, or yeah, it'll come. But definitely once you hit the 33 to 35 range, it hits you hard.
Do me a favor, hold your phone still. What state are you in?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm an entrepreneur model.
When you were young, what age did you think you'd be married by?
By 30. I mean,
what do you think?
Surprise.
That didn't happen.
Honestly, it was location and options.
What does that mean?
Well, at the time, at 30, I was finishing up my master's in the middle of nowhere.
So you said you're an entrepreneur and a what?
And a model.
A model?
Mm-hmm. A plus size. But then I took...
Bruh, girl is 30. Girl is 30. This is the problem with our community. Black women feel like in my prime, I'm in my 20s. This is where I go play and go run up my body counts and they get married later. Most cultures don't do shit like that. Now, when they get to their 30s and they're not as prime, now they want to settle down. But most times, most niggas don't really want that. Like, they prefer a younger woman. So when she talking about she had options, you had options because you probably was straight when you was younger. Now you're older, you look older, you've slightly gained some weight, and now you're trying to settle down. Like, once you've gotten to a point where you're kind of like blah 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 blah, you hot shit in your 20s, early to mid 20s, then you start pushing that 30. Now I think that you don't see that happen in a lot of cultures. Most of the time, it's like, listen, a man wants his woman to be looking good for at least 10, 15 plus years before you start saying, hey, you're going to start falling off the map. You can't come in falling off the map and expecting us to, come in ready to pick you up. Unless, and if you are in your 30s, you're going to be messing with a nigga that's probably in his 50s or 40s, because to him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because that's 20 years younger. But for like niggas in their 20s or early 30s, mid 30s, that ain't like, most of the time they're looking for women who are much more younger, or whatever the case is. Like, looking at her, she talking about she 33, she ain't married. It's because she was playing her whole 20s. She should have found her a husband and stopped entertaining all these guys that just told her, hey, you look good, and trying to get in the beds. And now she come up in here in her 30s with highway mileage, trying to holler at people. I ain't hollering at you. You good. We good, but appreciate it.
A break. I did take about 3-year break between the classes and doing my thesis to graduate.
You said you're a plus size model?
Yes.
I'm always fascinated as to why college and careers, even high level careers, don't seem to keep other races women from marrying.
Right. I just said that.
Geography, none of this stuff seems to keep other women from getting married. Why do you think? Why do you think black women just readily? Why do you think? Because I hear this from black women often. It's because I was in school, and I'm like, well, Becky was in school, and Becky went to the Mayo Clinic. Now, she's a surgeon with a husband and 4 kids.
Right.
So is it really school?
It's school. It's definitely school. I have a Caribbean background, and my father, ever since I was little, he was
Okay.
like, school, school, school. Don't worry about anything else. As long as you have your education, no one can take anything from you. So it's kind of like pressure to secure that before anything else.
But other people can go to school and have educational focused backgrounds.
Other
like from
cultures do it all the
Pakistan,
time.
From the Middle East, and they're all
on,
about
man.
that, but they still get married.
Yes, they
That's
do.
true.
Yes, they do.
So I'm not hearing why education is doing. Is it really education?
I think the problem is you.
Okay, that was a long. What's your long relationship?
2 years.
God
How long ago
damn,
was that?
2 solid years. That was 4 years ago.
All right. Do you have any
bruh.
brothers?
No.
Okay. So you're the only child?
No, I'm a middle child of 3 girls.
Okay, 3 girls. Okay. This explains more. And your sister's married?
My older sister's married.
Wait, okay.
So it's reasonable to say growing up you did not learn how to serve a man.
You didn't know how to. Nope.
Oh, I
That's
did.
the problem.
Absolutely did.
You did or
That's
did
the
not?
problem.
I did. You said to serve a man?
Well, let me explain what
Did
I
she
mean.
have a father?
If you had brothers in the house and your mother cooked, your mother would serve your father, and whether your brothers were older or younger, you would serve them. When the dinner was done, your mother would clear your father's plate. The women would clear the men's plates.
You're right. You're right.
You had no men in the house, so it was all female energy and a father.
A lot, yeah.
Well, and he, no disrespect to your father, but he panicked and said, y'all need to get educations because I can't afford to take care of all of y'all. That's what tends to happen when you have a bunch of girls. You got to get a job because I can't pay for it, instead of telling you, go find a husband and build a life with somebody so I can have some sons and some help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bruh speaking facts. Bruh speaking facts on that. Like, for real, like what he just said, niggas probably ain't even hear that. He basically was saying, man, like women who were raised in a household where you did not naturally know how to serve a man, like you watched this growing up, you're not gonna know how to serve a man. Like most of the time, like most successful marriages happen because, like, you know, like there was you as a child have witnessed a successful marriage. You saw the dynamics of a man, the dynamics of a woman, and you've watched your mom serve your dad and how your dad was the provider and provided for the home and took care of the home, took care of the yard. She ain't never see that. She was raised with a bunch of girls. She don't know what that looks like. And then he hit it on the head. As fathers, like if I have daughters, if the first thing I'm thinking is, damn, they're going to grow up. There's a good chance they're going to still call me when they're older because they need something, because there's a good chance that they may not find a man right away who's going to be that provider for them, who can take that load off of me. So the only thing I can do is encourage them to go to college so that they'll at least be able to take care of themselves, so that it pulls the burden off of me, because I'm their father and I have to provide for these 3 daughters and my wife. That's 4 women, and there's no men around who I know if I had a son, I know that I have to train them to naturally be a provider. That's what he's talking to about, man. But most people ain't picking that up.
You're right. I would say my options as far as what I'm looking for wasn't available.
What are you looking for?
You know, intellectual brother, ambitious, family.
How tall are you?
Come on now.
I am 5'5".
Okay. You know what's coming next? Dress size?
Okay.
I wear 22.
All right.
Yeah, I'm juicy. I already know that.
That's not the word I would use. See, and I gotta be honest, man. What options? And how can I say this in the night? Can I just be direct?
Absolutely, I already know.
But what options does a woman who's a dress size 22?
Hey, Oh my God. That remind me of Friday. Where when she was trying to hook Chris Tucker up with her friend, she said, I'm juicy. Nah, bruh. Nah, juicy ain't always good.
Can you command?
I mean, it's all
I said, what? It's all about what?
how you carry it as well.
Man, you're 5'5".
Yeah.
And you're, what's the most you've
What
ever
you doing
weighed?
in the camera?
350.
And a woman is 5'5", should be 125 pounds.
Facts.
You are almost 3 times, at your height, you're almost 3 human beings.
No, that's not my current weight though.
I said at your height.
Okay, but that's not
350 and 3 times 125 is 375. At your height, you are almost 3 women. And what I'm asking in the nicest, most gentle way possible is what kind of options can a woman who is 350 pounds or thereabout think she can demand?
I just want to clarify that my biggest weight is 350, but that's not my current weight.
Okay, ma'am, how much do you weigh now?
Currently, I'm 250.
God, okay, not much.
You're two people.
It's an improvement.
Absolutely.
But it is still, I'm just leave it alone. But what I don't understand is how you could say education is what kept you from marriage when most people would say it. Hold on.
Okay.
Most people would not say school and geography. Most people would point to your weight.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But that's not what you said. You said school.
Yeah.
For me personally, I feel like
you can't make that decision for us.
That's not what it was.
You small and big.
You're an educated woman.
Not Biggie Smalls.
And you're sitting here trying to tell me that it wasn't the fact that there were men in college. There were men around you, ma'am. You were too big for anybody to really seriously consider you.
Right.
So telling yourself it was school is delusional.
That makes sense.
But what's troubling is that I had to pull that out, and at 33, you can't be honest with that.
Oh, no. I accept that. But
you accept what I said, but it's not what you openly admitted. Yep. I mean, it's pretty clear. Why aren't you married? Well, I think it's geography and.
Well, I have options to get married, but I just didn't take them.
Right. Options, but let's also be honest, the kind of man you say you want, you don't have.
Right.
Well, I'm dating now, so.
But the kind of man you say you want, you don't have.
Correct.
I do have now, but I'm not married yet.
So why are you on the show?
You say you want an intelligent and ambitious man. Why? Why is ambition important?
Ambition is important because it shows me where you want to go and how you process life and the things that you want to achieve.
You want children?
Absolutely.
How many?
At least 2.
Damn, she ain't got no kids either.
And what does your doctor say about that?
That's red flags right there.
It's very possible.
And how long have you been at 250?
For about 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I believe that the truth is that many Black women have let themselves go to the point to where, honestly, I can get up 300 plus pounds, which is why Spelman got rid of all their college athletics because they saw so many women coming to college in your height, weight, and not really giving a damn.
Yeah.
And taking your prime years at 300 plus pounds.
Yep. Your prime years gone, bro. Nobody wants you really like
everything that. Other than your weight and by extension, being attractive to a man, you put yourself in a position where you have to provide for yourself.
Man, if you are a 10 and you're 33 years old, that's red flags all day. Like you're a 10, right? That's what you allegedly say. But you're 33 years old. I don't care what nobody say. A nigga gonna always question that. Like, why are you not married? You seem like a good woman, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Why are you not married? Because these women be having skeletons in their closet. They don't say nothing, but they be having skeletons in their closet, and you don't find out until later. Most men do too. I'm not gonna, bash, but like oftentimes when you're thinking about a woman that's 33 years old, if a woman 27 to 30, whatever, you should be married. I don't care what nobody say, you should be married. Why aren't you married? If you are the prize, why aren't niggas just out here scooping you? And she said something along the lines of, I had options. What the fuck does that even mean? So what? You had options. You had options that you didn't want. That's why you didn't marry them. Just because you had options don't mean it was options that you wanted. That don't mean nothing. You have options when you go to the grocery store, but you ain't going to the grocery store to buy everything. You going to the grocery store to buy what you want, what you need for your household. If that ain't what you need in the grocery store, why are you gonna go buy it? You got options. That's basically saying the same shit. Like just because somebody could have married you doesn't mean that you are worth being married. That just means that somebody was willing to do it. But that doesn't mean that you're like this prize. Like every nigga you run into should be trying to marry you. Everybody running to you. But that's when you know you got a good one though. I think he was talking to her. She wasn't paying attention though.
You need a man who's an above average earner? You do?
Wait, say it again?
You need a man who's an above average earner.
What the fuck?
As long as we have the things that we need, like I don't need an above average earner.
What is an average earner?
That's a green flag.
An average earner would be about
35K.
80,000.
Damn.
Do you care if he's black or not?
Yes, I do. I would say no, but I do care.
80,000.
What percentage of black men do you think earn $80,000?
Say it again.
What percentage of black men in this country do you think earn $80,000?
Tell the truth.
Probably 45%.
Hell no.
Yeah, 15.
Thank you.
15.
Jeez.
And you 350 pounds.
So they're not nearly. So if you need a man to make 80,000,
you in trouble.
The chance you need to cut what you. That is.
Bruh, she don't even see it. 250, 5'5", 33 years old with no children, never been married. She don't even see it. Why would something's wrong here. Something is wrong. This is not realistic. In your mind, you might still be the hottest thing walking when you were 18 to 24. But at a certain point, you got to start like saying, fuck that. I got to start putting it together. These other, again, women from other cultures don't play the radio. They said, let me get my husband while I'm in my prime now. Let me build my future. Black women got it twisted up. They like, let me party, then build my future. It's like so fucked up in our culture, man.
See what I mean? By being deluded. You think the average man earns $80,000 in this country, and the average black man earns 42.
Thank you. I mean, I don't make that. I make more.
Well, I haven't had a problem with coming in contact with those people.
Yeah, but we're not. See, I
don't
really concern myself with coming into contact with, hooking up, dealing. I keep score on marriages.
Yep.
Because that's one of the convenient highs in a lot of systems, like to tell themselves, because I can date men, have sex with men, interact with men on this level, that it's just like being married to it. And it's absolutely not.
It's not the same.
So what I've showed you tonight, ma'am, is you don't really have a clue what's going on out here with men.
Nope. You lost.
Which explains why you got to hold on to this one, because I'm assuming he earns $80,000 or more. Does he?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Because if you don't have him, that means you got to go back out here in the market, right?
Right.
In a pandemic, right?
Yeah, right. And I can tell you this: the men, black men who earn what you're talking about, are not looking for women that
We don't want you. Clear as
Are you
day.
sure?
Positive.
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to keep it light. I don't want it to be too heavy.
I want it to be realistic, though, man. And you, sister, you act like that this is a game, and life is not a game.
No, I totally understand. I understand.
I'm not doing this to waste my time at midnight. I mean, I got other shit I could do.
I mean, you clicked on me.
All right, and I'm doing. You know what?
What's she talking about?
We get what we reflect. And this is why I find it difficult to feel sorry for women like yourself. Because even though we're trying to have the conversation, you want to keep it light. I understand you want to keep it light, man, but there's something to be said for in a pandemic and this and that. You know, I hope you get what you want out of life. I really do. But I also, more than that, I hope men get what they want out of life.
Sure do.
And no, men don't go out and become the best version of themselves, to put themselves in the top 15% of earners to get women who are 250, 300 pounds. They don't do that. All right, you have a good night.
hey, bro was talking to her, man. She gonna be alone for a long time, and if she do get married, she's gonna get married to not her ideal man, but she'll just get married to prove a point that she can get married, not necessarily because she's 100% happy. I think most people fall into that. They end up marrying somebody that, you know, will do the job, not necessarily their ideal person, because at this point time has already elapsed and your ideal person may be for you, but that doesn't mean that you are for him. And I think that she still was missing what Kevin was saying. And see, people don't think bro was teaching. Bro was trying to teach these women, teach just in general. But see, that makes men want to step up to the plate, because like you can see these women are delusional. You're asking for a top tier guy when you have highway mileage, you are older, and you're probably more stuck in your ways now. And most of the time, we're not really attracted to that. Now, if you're 33 years old, 250 pounds, and a man, you get a high value man, you have to be extremely sweet, extremely nice, extremely respectful, the whole 9 yards. That's the only way that man gonna come to you. Ain't no way. There's no way in hell. None. Zero. Who this is? She got a bonnet on? Ah, shit. Hell no. Let me light this cigar.
How old are you?
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
40?
40?
I'm 40.
What year were you born?
She don't look 40. She look good for her age.
1970.
Yeah, see, you should lie better. Don't
She
lie to me.
lying. Yo.
Yeah, okay, what do you want?
She tripping.
Well, I was actually born in 1996.
Okay,
So,
I don't do that.
So she 30.
Well, we started out wrong. What do you
She
want?
lying. What the hell?
Well, I wanted to, I guess, give my 2 cents on the.
Why should anybody listen to a liar?
Facts.
Well,
You just lie.
I was just playing with you.
No, we don't know each other. Why? No.
Well,
No. No. Why should anybody listen to a liar with a bonnet on their head?
well,
Why should anybody listen to a liar with a bonnet on their head in a dirty room?
well.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us why we should listen to a liar with a bonnet on their head in a dirty room.
Well, you did allow me to join the meeting, and I really appreciate it.
I did before you lied to me.
Men don't play by line, boy. You shouldn't have did that. You fucked up with that
How
one.
you start off a conversation with a strange person in a show? You think that's proper?
It
Is
was
that how you were raised?
no, it
Okay, your
wasn't.
mother and father will be proud that you did that.
Nope.
No,
Okay, then
they
why don't
would
you damn well apologize?
please accept my apologies, Mr. Samuels.
All I'm trying to get, go ahead. What would you like? Because I mean, we got to stop being so informal with each other. That's not okay, young lady.
I agree. I agree, sir, especially given the differences in our station, our ages, and clearly
Well,
the things that we have access to.
well,
There's
that
quite a lot of space between us. And I
yeah.
should have been more polite. So, again, I do apologize.
What was the point you would like to make?
Well, I just thought it was funny because, my hair is kind of short.
I said,
So, you made a
what was the
mention.
point? What was the point that you would like to make?
Well, I was going to say that yes, while it might be, I agree with you to some degree that this is a high value man's world. But, you know, Mr. Brown, another very wise and worldly man, he did say that even though it's a man's world, it would be nothing without a woman or a girl. So that's my 2 cents.
There'd be nothing without a woman or a girl to do what?
Well, to live for
No,
or to live with. I think
no,
it's very
no,
fascinating.
no.
Okay.
First off, you don't overtalk
Well,
me. No, don't overtalk me. That's one big thing we don't do. If men, okay, it's a man's world, but it'd be nothing without a woman. Really? Let's interrogate that.
I mean, it wasn't my idea. It
No,
was
I
a
mean,
man's
no,
idea.
well, let's interrogate it though. Let's interrogate it. Are you in a
Is this
house, an
what
apartment,
did
or a
she got on
building?
her head? She
I'm
had
in a
she
home.
had the thing on. Now it's
Okay.
gone.
Uh, who do you think actually built the house you're in? Was it a crew of men or a crew of women?
I imagine it was a crew of men, sir. I am
Okay.
familiar with the
Okay.
work.
I get
Starting
it.
from
Well,
the
no, you don't overtalk me. That's not the point. So it is a man's world, and women have their place. But what place is that?
it's in the kitchen.
I wouldn't say kitchen, but okay. Where else?
It's um, with the children.
Do women have anything to do outside of the house?
Of course,
What would you say?
She came on here to be
you
messy.
know, uh, I know because you are part of a Black Greek organization that you are aware of how Black sororities, they still do to some degree, but how they used to like run charities and like women clubs meetings, and they would get together and say, you know what, we need a library, in this town. So let's all get together. Maria, Susan,
Do they do
everybody,
that
let's bake
anymore?
some
Do
pies
they do that? Do they do that
and
today?
fundraise.
Do they do
I
that
think
today?
so. White women certainly do.
Okay. Was that beneficial to the community?
Of course, it was. I think it still is for the communities who continue those practices.
Would
What is
we
she
do it in our
talking about?
community?
What is she talking
I
about?
think so to some degree, but just not to the extent
Why
that
not?
it used to
Why
be.
not?
Well, because women are otherwise occupied.
With
Doing
what?
what?
Well, it's quite vulgar. So I don't know if I should say it, but your terminology is riding the carousel.
What are they doing when they're not doing that?
I know she ain't just say that on this man show.
They're working very hard to make money and be socially mobile.
The average black woman earns less than $50,000. 74% of black women earn less than $50,000 a year.
I
There's not,
know, and
excuse me.
yet,
Don't
and
overtalk me.
are you
There's
gonna
not much.
smack me?
There's not much social mobility for but 3/4 of our women, because they make less than 50,000.
Yes, it is a
Fact.
pity
It's not a
and
pity.
a damn shame.
It's not a pity. It's not a pity. It's predictable.
Well, I think it's a
It's not a pity. It's predictable. It's predictable because just like all the attitudes you have and the sass and the silliness, this is what happens. You get a bunch of women living
Bruh,
by themselves, doing what they want. Nobody takes you seriously. So when you're working hard to live by yourself.
bruh, she coming on here to be messy. She trying to be messy. She ain't trying to really listen to what this man talking about. I don't like when people come on here and do this on the show. Like she trying to be messy. She should have kept that bonnet on too.
As I would say, the cock carousel is a distraction from the pain. I want you guys to understand something. Why I let that go is because whether she knew it or not, your character. This is like an avatar or a caricature of how so many people see modern black women.
Yep. Bruh, bruh, they do it to themselves. It's women like that who come onto this show and come on here and like she came in here lying. She already started out lying. So her intentions was not to come on here and, do good. Her intentions was to come on here and be messy. And that's what she was. She came on with a bonnet. he got ass with a dirty ass room. Oh shoot, we got kicked out. We got internet. We back. We back. Shoot, man. What? Listen, if a man get kicked, listen, when a man come to your crib for the first time, I promise you, if that nigga say, "Can I go to the bathroom?" He checking to see how clean your bathroom is. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Like, that will tell me everything I need to know about this woman. I'm looking in the tub. I just need to make sure I peek the curtain open a little bit so she don't know I was looking at her tub. But I'm peeking in that curtain, bro. And her room was dirty, man. Like, we judge a woman by her kitchen, her room, her house, man. It's got to be straight. You know what I mean? Like, we don't play that dirty shit. And for me, I'm for the most part, I'm a clean dude. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's not even like that's like a prerequisite. Like it shouldn't even be a part of what I want in a woman. Certain shit should be just like prerequisites. A woman that cooks, a woman that cleans, a woman that has respect. Those are prerequisites. Those are not like other shit that these are not things that you should be like working on getting. These are things that you already should come with. So that's neither here nor there. But let's go.
You come in here with children.
Let's back it up. Who this woman is with the leopard on?
Right? Okay, fresh face out of the shower, your natural face. You can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? 1 to 10.
Please.
6.
Okay. A 6 is right above average. A 5 is average, right? You're 5'3", 100, a dress size 10, so that's above average weight. 5'3", you should be roughly dress size 4. 4'6", 125 pounds. Even if I believe you're 157, 160, you're almost 33 pounds, 33% over your ideal target weight.
33%.
And you have listen. If you're average to cute looking, if you're below average health from a weight standpoint, and you have 2 children, overall, does that make you below average, average, or above average?
Hold on. I might have to agree with Kevin on this one. I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't think that a woman having children should determine her rating on the scale. I think that she could have kids and still look good, still look bad. I don't think children should got shit to do with that. Now, don't get me wrong. For the overall package, it's a problem. But look-wise, nah. But anyways, she says she above average. I know damn well he about to eat her ass up because hell.
Factor all those things in together.
Average.
So why should you get anything over? Then why should you get above average? What do you mean settle for? You should get what you are.
I see millionaires with average women all the time.
They don't have big chest tattoos either.
What the fuck she just said?
And 2 other kids. Man,
So
I'm just saying, okay, I want to, no, I mean, let's be honest. Why should an average woman say she's settling for an average man? Maybe
Ain't
that
nothing
makes,
wrong with it. Wait.
No, you said so I should just settle. No, you said that. Listen, you said so I should just settle for an average guy. And I'm like, you're an average woman. Why should you not get?
I would be
Yes.
settling. I mean, he could.
Average.
Why would you be settling and he wouldn't? So what would he be doing? Would he be upgrading?
He don't got no money. So if he don't have no money,
You ain't fine enough for no money.
I'm not fine enough for some money.
No. You're
Average
6.
women
You're 5.
date
You said
billionaires.
you're 6, ma'am. You said you're 6. You don't get money. You get second shift at the plant. Did you go to college?
No, I didn't.
Okay, ma'am. So
I have my own business.
congratulations. Don't care. Ma'am, you got 2 children. And you said you are 6. I give you 5, 6. Your numbers together would be average. So why? So an average man would be upgrading to get you.
Look, I didn't say all that.
I'm asking, ma'am, because we're just having a conversation. You said you'd be settling, so by extension, he would be.
So I guess we'll be settling for each other.
Well, no. But my issue is, you said settling for him. That means you'd be getting something less than what you deserve. When we settle, we get less
I already
what we
have
deserve, right?
Everything that I need. If he's not adding to me, then that will be settling, right?
Fabian, I want you to understand what I asked you last night. I asked this question oftentimes with black women. If you have to work as hard today or harder if you want children with a husband, would you rather have a husband or be single? And almost 100% of the time, black women would say, if I have to work as hard as I am today with a husband, I'd rather be single, because a husband is not, just by being a man ain't enough. He's supposed to make her life easier. That is why I have no problem telling women to die alone. It is not our job to make women's lives easier.
Nope.
It's our job to protect, provide, but that's not necessarily easy. It's harder. Relationships are hard. So, ma'am, you got all the things you need except somebody to share life with. And the man who can meet your standards, okay? Can he meet other women's standards?
Yep. So why you?
Okay, then why should he not get the best? If he can meet your high standard, he can meet another woman's standard. And all I'm saying is that why should a man have to settle for a woman with 2 kids? Because you got a business?
They don't have.
We ain't even into that shit.
Settle for me.
But you said you'd be settling for him.
Okay, just like you.
If you're settling for him, that means that nigga, if you're a 6, that means that nigga is like a 4 or 5. That means you're settling. And oftentimes, if we're talking solely looks, women are naturally settling for men anyways. Like naturally, he has to be somewhat okay, somewhat decent. He ain't got to be top bomb biggity, but he do have to have the qualities of a man of like providing and shit. So like look wise, women are naturally going to settle. Men naturally don't settle for looks. We may settle for other things. Like you don't have to be like a provider. You don't have to make $100,000. You don't have to have these million cars or whatever cases. We don't care about that shit. If you look good and you respect us, you got us. We pretty simple.
You say that high value men men are supposed to have money, right? That's what you say. So if they don't have money, that means their value is low, right?
No.
And you go off women.
No. If you want to know, high value men, that's a completely different component. That's less than 10% of men.
Mhm.
And high value men get high value women, women who are in high demand.
Right.
Right.
That's not your category.
Damn.
Because I got kids, right?
You're not, ma'am. Yes. Are you? Would you say that you're a woman that's in high demand or most wanted?
That's a fact. That's a good question.
Yeah, I could be. I mean,
You could be. So okay. So
Can I tell you?
listen.
Can I
Don't.
tell you about myself?
Hold on. Ma'am, you're 37 with 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the world do women who are average to above average, average to cute, who are a little overweight with 2 kids, where are these women in high demand?
They're everywhere. That's not high demand. They're everywhere.
Kevin, I'm working on myself. So if
No, ma'am, I asked a very specific question. It's not because you're working on yourself. That's fine, but that doesn't mean you're in high demand.
I can get there, can I?
And see,
so you mean to tell me if I can lose 20 pounds?
Hey, just the weight though.
And
80 years ago, with a woman in your position, even without the children, 80 years ago, would a woman in your position be with the top 10% man?
You said
80 years ago. 80 years ago. Would she be with a man in the top 10% of all men? 80 years ago.
Be honest.
Yeah.
No. There are a limited amount of these men to go around. Ma'am. This one I want you guys to understand, especially in the Black community.
She for real too.
You're an average woman by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's being fair. Average at best is more likely the term. Average at best would be pretty fair. But listen.
I'm listening.
But the issue is, so I got to settle for an average man. That's not settling. That's getting what you can afford to buy on the sexual marketplace.
Okay, so if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one.
He told her the impossible. Oh shit. Look at her face. Look at her face. She hurt. She hurt. Nigga, she hate Jesus.
I'm gonna be honest, you can't. You're 37 with 2 kids. If they're less than 10% of the men, why would he pick you over a woman with no children?
But Kevin, I talk to the pretty good high value. I go on dates with high caliber men.
Yes, they will go on dates with you. They will talk to you. They'll have sex with you.
We talk about marriage.
They're gonna marry you.
We talk about marriage.
I want you to understand this is what the issue is, because I talked about this for a year and a half, because men will deal with you. What man of value who is a high value man recognized by other men of value?
Yep.
What man that fits in that category is seriously vetting you to be a wife today?
I'm talking to someone now. I've been dating this guy now who
marrying you,
pretty high value, and we've been talking.
How old is he?
He's 51.
And what makes him high value?
There you go.
He owns his own car dealership, and he has multiple businesses. He owns houses. Like he's doing pretty good for himself. He's probably not rich, but
ma'am, being high value is more than just money.
Thank you.
He got a good head on his shoulders. He got
emotionally intelligent.
He take care of himself. He work out. He don't even look like he.
Oh Jesus Christ, ma'am!
Help her, Kevin.
I'm trying to be reasonable, But it's more than just money. And I'm saying a man like, okay, why would a man, how can I say this without sounding rude?
Kevin, just
I'm trying to, why would a man who has this going on, and what state are you in?
I am in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, I didn't need, I just said state. But anyway, why would a man who's choose a woman like that? Okay, if you say he's high value, to me, when I talk about high value, it's not just money. It's over a period of time. It's what you do. It's also men of value must recognize you as a peer or a potential peer.
Right.
You got to have a network of high value men and others, and you must be useful to others in a group. So you judge a man not just on his money, by his network, by other men who say, yeah, that's a man of value.
Right.
He's a mover or shaker, a most eligible. Okay, man, but these men don't
She ain't
settle.
even listening.
They don't settle.
They don't.
They don't get women who are. There are men on YouTube right now saying, I don't know what I'm talking about being high value. But here's one thing that they do agree with me on. They don't take a woman with children. They don't. I've had men who vehemently disagree with me on a lot of things. They don't listen to me, but unanimously, we don't take another man's children.
And the reason being is because men are naturally providers, right? We're natural providers. So when we're thinking of providing not just now for you, but you and your children. See, women aren't providers, they're nurturers. So when a woman meets a man with kids, it's the ability to nurture. There's not a need of providing. Where a man, he has to think it's you plus your kids. So that's you plus extra rooms, extra money to dish out to take care of you and your kids. So that, I think that's what he's getting at. I don't think she's understanding that. And I think he's right about, high value men. Like, that's just like, even not necessarily high value men. It's just harder for women to get a man with children, or a woman to want to date a woman with children than it is for a woman to want to date a man with children, because there's that lack of care. So, I think he's spot on with that. I just think that this still does not mean anything about her looks.
That's not even in their mindset. They don't. So you ladies can call it what you want, and I'm thinking, how long have y'all been dating?
2 weeks now.
Damn! You just met the nigga. This don't even count. He is still in puppy love stage, and he is trying to get what he want out of you. And I promise you, when he done, and you're done.
I said seriously, but considering you to be a wife in 2 weeks, ma'am,
you just met him.
I said we've been talking about it,
ma'am. That's what I'm saying, ma'am. I said what man of value who's recognized by other men of value is seriously betting you to be a wife, and you said this man, you ain't known this dude but 2 weeks.
From the streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the money.
The only reason I'm pushing this hard, ma'am, is because it triggers me when I hear average women talking about settling for average men. And I'll be honest.
Why do it trigger you?
Because you'd be lucky to get an average man. He would be settling for you. He would be settling for you to have to deal with you. 2 children from somebody else? Yes, ma'am, that's why. Because
say something.
No, you asked, let me finish. He'd be settling for you because
Because I got 2 children?
You can't even
amongst
talk to
other
her,
things,
bro.
yes.
You can't even talk to her. She ain't even listening.
I mean, I'm a good person to get along with. So.
That may be, ma'am. That may be. You could be a perfectly lovely person. But there are other women who are perfectly lovely people who are childless and more physically appealing.
That's fine.
And they're gonna cut this man off every time he's talking. Come on, let the man speak.
Man, by definition, see, that's the thing. The kind of men you ladies talk about you want, they are rare. They are for every man that falls into your category, there are thousands of women that want him.
Yep. Supply and demand.
He can only have one wife.
Yep. He can only have one.
You telling he gonna have a lot of wives? I mean,
no. He gonna have a lot. He gonna cheat a lot, but he ain't gonna have one wife. He can only marry one person. It's called bigger. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. No, that's enough. You can only have one wife. Don't. No. That's all. You can only have one wife. Nope. You sat there and why did you marry your baby daddy?
Bruh, he was talking on this one, and he's right. Like, even if you get a high value man, you got to remember, like, that's gonna come with. I mean, it's gonna come with problems, like, some faithful issues and things like that. So I think, bro, speaking on that one, I think he was talking. I don't think she was listening though, but like, I think he was basically trying to say the men that you want is 10%. That's 10% of men that you want. Like, understand that, because supply and demand, the 666 nigga that these women are out here asking for, that's supply and demand. Understand that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of other women that's going to want that same exact guy, and you're going to have problems. So what you want may not necessarily mean that's what's necessarily best for you. I think that's what he was getting at in there. And like, she needs to find a man of her caliber and stop trying to aim for something that all these hundreds of thousands of other women want, who have more qualities, more things to bring to the table with less baggage. She needs to find her lane and say, hey, even if it wasn't just children, it can be whatever. It can be her look. It can be physically, what it could be, where she's at, where she's working, her culture. You have to find something that naturally makes sense for you and stop trying to aim for something like, I could do better. You can do better, meaning he might date you. He might take you on a few dates and take you out a few times. But just because you meet a guy who can take you out and take you out on dates don't mean he's going to be the one to marry you. That's not what that means. That means that you can do better in the time being, but that does not mean he's going to convert, because he's still going to be the one to make the final decision on whether he want to marry you or not. Period. Let's go to the last video.
Yes.
Well, this is the last video.
Look, a lot of this.
Look. We already got her deal. We gonna come to a resolution on this show, because I think we done spent a good amount of time on what Kevin Samuels. Hey, everybody! Today was the day Kevin Samuels passed away. May 5th was today. I think bruh man was trying to teach our culture, and this wasn't a session on bashing our culture, black women, or bashing men, or praising men, or giving. I think today was more of a focus on like what he was trying to do, what Kevin Samuels was trying to do, his message he was trying to portray. And then oftentimes you see he's showing you on these videos in the flesh who these women are. They're showing you. And to be fair, at this point, it's corrupted. Like, we may not live to see the change of the black women that we are hoping to see in the future. So we would have to start ingraining that into our daughters and our sons now, because at this point, I mean, some of these women are so far gone. There's no changing that. There's no adjusting that. Some of them are like they're older. They're stuck in their ways. Look up the science behind the frontal lobe, right? The frontal lobe hardens for most human beings at 25 years old. These women are over 25. They are not married. Those are red flags for any man, right? Back then, people used to get married in like early ages, 19, 20. That's why you will hear your grandmother, grandfather, uncles been married for 50, 60, 70 years. And because these women knew then, like, these are my prime years. These are my precious years. This is where, I need to start finding that husband and marrying that husband. And oftentimes, like, man, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, some guys, like, be missing the mark too. Shit, I ain't gonna even hold that. Like, some dudes don't even know how to change a flat, some dudes don't even know how to change a battery in a car. So, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, supply and demand. But because you know that as a high value man that you bring certain aspects and certain qualities that you know that most men are not going to be able to possess, you are considered a high value man. It's not just financial, like what he was just saying. Is he provider? Is he a problem solver? Is he surrounded by the right type of people? Does his future look very clear on where he's going? Like there's just so much to a high value man that even when you think about the type of woman you want, they're very particular. We're very particular about who we want, and we don't settle for nothing. Like there's a certain level of respect, a certain level of comfort, a certain level of support that a high value man is going to look for a woman, because he's not going to look for her to provide for him. He's going to look for her to support him, back him, be there when he needs her. Whatever the case is, I think that oftentimes, like our community, we miss that. And I be seeing all these other cultures, white kids, Spanish people, Chinese people, Asian people. They do not play the radio. They are not out here running up their bodies. They ain't out here just having sex with any and everything because they think that they're going to marry this person because it looks good. But I think I'm going to conclude with, like, most people swear to God, like they love somebody, or they'll put whatever. Everybody say that. And then, like, when you really think about love, man, it's like love is like unconditional. Like it's not like there's not conditions to love. There's not, I love this person with the conditions of, as long as this person does this for me, or as long as this person, that's not love. Love is unconditional. Like when a man looks for a wife, he looks for a wife that's similar to his mother, because no matter what, all the wrongdoing that this man does, his mom's gonna always love him unconditionally. And when a man looks for a wife, that's what he looks for. He looks for a woman who's gonna love him unconditionally. Like, and so women have lost, in our culture, have lost the ability to love unconditionally. And it's clearly seen in these videos. Like there's all kind of conditions with all of these women that he talked to. All kind of conditions. And so therefore, we have to start coming together as people to understand, like, like I'm a person who was raised up in a household with just I ain't never seen my mom with no other man but my stepdad, you know what I'm saying? So for me, and I don't even remember my dad because he died when I was really young, but she immediately straightened up and got on her P's and Q's, and she found out my stepdad. She been with this man for 30 something years, and they ain't going nowhere. So, my great aunt, my grandparents, I mean, you're talking 50, 40, 50 years. You're not going to see shit like that no more because it's unconditional. And there's some shit that I seen, growing up, shit, all kind of crazy shit. But like, he was spitting in this one here. Like, it's going to be hard when you meet a woman and she wasn't raised up in a household with a constant man throughout her entire life in the household, brothers and fathers. He was saying that it's going to be hard for you to convert that, because that's going to be something that she does not know how to necessarily treat a man. And she doesn't know what it necessarily looks like. She just knows in her mind that because she's been raised by her mom or whatever the case is most of her life, she's going to look at it like her mom's going to teach her that she's the precious, she's the prize, she's this, that, and the third. And I think there's no prize for both men and women. I think everybody's the prize, but primarily, if I had to be 100, men are the prize. People going to argue that. And I say that because at the end of the day, men are more attracted to women than women are attracted to men. So oftentimes when a woman see a man, she's not necessarily attracted to him, even if he's got the physicalities. Men are attracted to women. That's why they have to wear makeup. Men don't have to wear makeup because we don't have to look pretty. Like, because women are naturally not attracted to that. They're attracted to the attributes of the man. And so I think that at the end of the day, our women are stuck. They think that they're going to find this tall, whatever guy, this, that, and the third, and this going to be his happily ever after. My mom married a shorter man than her, being honest. And she been with this man for 30 something, but he's a man. He fix shit. He does what he need to do. He don't fix the greatest shit, but he fix it. But like, I think that we just, we be tripping. Our culture be tripping. I just say this, man, like, rest in peace to my man, Kevin Samuels, man. Everybody was like, was he trying to help? This nigga was trying to help people. He was trying to help our culture. He was trying to reshape Black women's minds because that shit is warped. And what's crazy is you're not going to see it they're not going to necessarily see it. They're going to think it's not warped. They're going to think that because they think so differently. But you don't see the majority of white women and other women from other cultures out here bashing white men like that. It's not a common thing. Like, they understand covenants, they understand privacy, they understand, commitment to each other, and that, marriage is a thing. And, I'm the type of person, I ain't getting married until the numbers come down. 77% of divorces are initiated by women, Black women, and we have a very high divorce rate. So anyways, man, I think so what you guys think, man? I think Kevin Samuels was trying to help the culture. Most people are going to argue with him, disagree with what he's saying, not follow up with what he's doing. But I think that most people, in this world that we live in, are going to just learn the hard way. And then when they do get ready to marry, they are going to settle. Most people in marriages settle. Most people in marriages are not with their ideal person. They have settled because they have waited far too long. And then I believe that certain people have missed out on their person. I think it happens. People miss out on their people, and then you settle and you die with this person. You grow to love somebody. But that's neither here nor there, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to the I'm Just Here to Listen podcast. I'm your host, Jameen Dumbs. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, rest in peace to my main man, Kevin Samuels, man. You will be missed, brother. This here is a celebration of your life, what you were trying to do to the Black community, how you were trying to shape lives in our community and re-empower Black men to step up to the plate and also have standards for the type of women that we want. Not just kids, just respect. I don't care what nobody say. If you do have kids and you're 250 pounds, but you're sweet and you're respectful to your partner and you support him, you will marry him. So women need to learn now how to respect again, because that is what's missing. That's what's missing: the respect, the support, the loyalty. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Jameen Dumbs, and I'll see you guys on the next live. Talk soon.